Pat, heck of a performance out there, man. You got to be pretty happy with that.
I'm friggin' thrilled. Sorry.
You can cuss back here.
I can
It's
cuss.
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
fucking thrilled. I'm really fucking thrilled.
I mean, you've earned that right, we don't censor anything back here. But, coming in, I know you wanted to put on a good performance, your co-main event, and I know you're trying to do the steps to get to the main event. You got to be happy with how everything kind of just went out there.
It's great going and getting a win against such a dangerous opponent who has a win over Diego Lopez, which was my last loss. It just shows me what I'm doing. I'm going in the right direction, and it's just more motivation to keep climbing.
And I know, that's one of the ones you want to get going. I mean, where does that rank in maybe some of the biggest wins of your career? Does this rank as, I know it's not a belt, it's not a title or whatever, but does it rank as a strong win in your career?
Oh, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. I knew going into this fight, we were going to have to prep super hard, really push it to the limit, get in there and get gritty, and that's what we did.
Yeah, and you spent a lot of the time on top, which is interesting because I think a lot of people, when they thought coming in, that if they went to the ground, I think a lot of people were thinking that it was going to favor him. I don't know if that was a big focus of the training camp or whatever, but you looked so impressive on the ground. What was the focus in training camp for him?
I've been. I don't know where it started, but I just started saying it this week actually, but I'm going to say it again. The closer I get to you, the more dangerous I get, and I really feel in my heart and my mind that I'm the best grappler in this whole division.
I was going to say, people didn't have an idea of what your grappling was. I think tonight was a great, example for them.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, combat sambo for a very long time, and I feel like I really blended my own style, and that's what I show in the octagon.
Did you feel by the time it was going into the later rounds that you were wearing him down, and did he feel different in the third round? I think there was almost even points, I know you wouldn't have heard it, but when it was going into the third round, his corner was just telling him, like, you're down 2 rounds, you got to step it up, in a sense. They didn't use those exact words. But could you feel that he was dwindling a little bit when it got into the third round?
So my one coach, Eddie Torres, he pointed in between the second and third round. He's like, look at him. He's having trouble standing. And once I saw that, it was like blood in the water. And I was like, I gotta put on another heavy pace in the third.
I love how you said the blood and water because you brought up his tattoo on the back. Did you say you watched Jaws for inspiration?
Oh, man, absolutely. It's one of my favorite movies. My cousin, who's like a brother to me, he said going into this fight, he's like, look, you got to be like the Chief Brody. You got to take the shark out. You know what I mean? Save the town.
Well, you certainly did that. That's got to be one of the first times I've ever heard a fighter say they use Jaws as inspiration, and let alone coming as for the Brody version. I would have figured they'd be the shark. I'm just going to be taking everybody out. He came in as the one that took out the dangerous monster.
Yep.
So from here, I know you said out there, I believe I couldn't quite hear. Did you say you want to get to the top because you want to see the views, or what was the line that you used out there?
I just want to keep climbing, man. Obviously I want to be UFC champion. I think I'm on that route. I know I'm on that route, and I just want to keep climbing. I would love to have a number next to my name.
Is that a matter of now of just calling out the right people so that you're getting matchups that take you higher and higher? And are there names that make sense after Joanderson Brito? He certainly, that's a big flag in your cap.
Yeah, he's arguably one of the most dangerous people in the division, in my opinion. So, I'm going to talk to my manager this week, and we're going to formulate a good plan.
When do you envision that you want to get back in, and how many more times this year do you want to fight?
Honestly, I said before this fight that I was going to take, a little bit of time to relax, but guess what? I feel the opposite right now. I feel like a newfound hunger, and I feel like each fight you dig deeper inside yourself and you find what you're made of and what's in there and what we were really capable of beyond the walls of fear and doubt. And I want to keep digging. I want to keep seeing, what's in there.
And I know the adrenaline's got to be still in there too, but you got to figure after a fight like that, your motivation and to get back in there and ride this momentum has to be sky high right now.
It really is. I'm just beyond blessed. the emotions haven't really hit me yet, but I'm sure at any minute, you know, some tears are going to be rolling down my face of joy and you know, just blessed, brother. Living one moment at a time, you know, I'm blessed.
And I know when those moments happen, you know, it's usually a family member or somebody special that get those calls. Who gets that call when you get those moments, when you reflect and you think about where life is taking you and how well you're doing right now?
You know, I think once I get to my phone, I'm going to give my grandpapa a call. You know what I mean? I know he's so invested in this stuff, and, you know, he always wants to know how I'm doing. He wants to be, he's part of that journey, and I want to share this moment with him.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Congrats on the victory. Can't wait to see you again.
Always a pleasure talking to you, brother.
Always a pleasure.